Hello, everyone. How are you guys all doing? Oh, that looks like I have a light in my eye. I'm going to move that. Oh, it still does. Oh, gosh. Is that better? There. Now that's better. I don't know if it's better on what I'm doing, but it's better on my face. Hello, everybody. Let me bring in um, Miss Annie.
Hi, y'all.
Oh, thanks, Robin. Yeah, I have a lot of different colors of eyeglasses. I have black ones that have little jewels on them. I have a lot of these purple ones. I have these brown ones. I have just straight black ones. And then I have some with I just fixed today that have lights on them.
Hey, Liz.
Hello, Liz. I can show you these ones. They have little lights on them, and they're rechargeable. Yeah, I love it. Of course, it looks funny, but those are for crocheting, not for doing what I do in here.
Well, I mean,
I just have
yeah, it could be used for art if you were in a dim environment.
Well, yeah, but here I have so many lights. You guys don't realize how many lights I have on in this room. I have 4 lights on in here. Well, I have actually 5 light bulbs, and I could have 2 others. Thanks, Robin. But yeah, I have 4 ring lights, and then I have an overhead that has 2 lights in it.
They are
So
very cool, Robin. I have a pair, but now I can't wear them because I have to wear my glasses all the time. Again.
yeah. Well, I have reading glass. I mean, these are reading glasses, which are magnifying. But the reason why I had to change those other ones is because these are the lens that came with them, and they're only magnifying, and I cannot wear them at all. They hurt my eyes. So,
Yeah, those they make you feel like your eyeballs
and
popping out of your head. That's what it feels
well,
like
it
to me.
makes me feel dizzy. I don't like it. So, all right, tonight I am going to do a charcoal drawing. I do them every so often. This is the one I did the last time. Oops. Wait a minute. What's the wrong
Make
way? Hold
make
on.
that camera bigger.
I will. Ugh. Okay, let me go this way. Okay,
There.
so this is the one that I did the last time. That's the charcoal drawing I did the last time. And then I'll show you a couple of others I've done in the last few months. I did that one. I don't know why it's not focusing very well.
There it is.
And then, oh, you got it? Okay.
Yeah.
And then I did this apple. And
Okay, you're fuzzy again. It's where your hands are moving close to the camera, I think.
yeah, I did that one. And I did,
Hey, Sandra,
here's
welcome
look.
in.
Hello, Sandra. Welcome in. Here's looking at you. I don't know why it's so fuzzy. I'm in
Put
that
your
one.
hand up to the camera and then pull it down to the sketch.
There you go. That's better.
Every time I see that one, it reminds me of Encanto.
I know. Okay, so,
You already have them.
and I have more sketch pads. This is just from this sketch pad. Because I've been doing charcoals for years. Okay, so let me get started.
Turkey's fun. Yep. Sorry, y'all. Planning on tomorrow's dinner.
That's okay.
Okay. Herb, it sure is nice to have you back.
Yes, it is.
He's here already? I'll see you in the morning. Cat gets away. Okay, y'all, the smooches is done.
So, this is, if you're asked, if you're wondering, yes, it is great to have you back, Herb. This is a pure willow charcoal sticks. And this is to blender. And it's just tightly wrapped paper. That's all it is. It has no charcoal in it, no coloring. It's just tightly wrapped paper, and so I can use it as a blender, and I can just go right on it that and pick it up, or I can blend it right off of the paper.
Robin said thank you for explaining. She was going to ask.
Oh, you're welcome. I know if you've never done charcoal, you're not going to understand. Now, if by chance, and I will use it.
Wow, that's super blurry.
Huh?
It is super blurry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's when you move your hand, it goes super blurry.
Yeah.
It's going to be unavoidable.
Right. So if I get a place where it's too dark or I don't want the charcoal there, then I have this eraser, and it's self-cleaning. So you just pull it, and the charcoal, it cleans out of it and becomes clean again. And so you can continue using it as long as you keep it. I have 2 of them, and I keep them in a bag, and it keeps it from drying out. I've had these for 30 years or more. And see how clean it is now, because it's it's a gray. So, but if I don't want this here, see how it just erases right out of there? It doesn't take it all out like an eraser, but it's pretty good. See? But I wanted that in there, so I'm going to put some more, but not quite that bad or that thick.
Sorry, I had to take a restroom break.
That's okay.
Forgot to do it before we started.
And I have
Stay in the yard.
I have a couple of different ones of these. This is a thicker one, and then I got a skinnier one, and I have all different charcoal stuff.
Hey, Vicky, welcome in.
Hello, Vicky. Welcome in. I'll also, I don't know if you saw me, I will, okay, so like this is a really big, chunky charcoal. And so sometimes I'll just get some off of it and then I can put it down. Because each one of these pencils is going to go down on the paper differently. But right now I'm just doing the background. And so I'm just kind of filling it in. I will go in and do more of it as we go, but I just want to lay that down. But I forgot to grab myself a piece of paper. So I don't,
Um,
I'm going to have it all over me anyway, but this will help.
I'm going to say no, Robin, but maybe Connie, Robin wants to know, is there colored charcoal?
Yes, I
There
have some
is?
right here. hmm
Seriously, I did not know that.
Yeah, I have some. I'll show it to you.
Cool.
Okay, so I have some right here. These are all colored. So um, there is a
Is there
light blue.
charcoal?
They're chalk, but and they act like charcoal. So they're not
Okay,
actual charcoal, but they are chalk pencils. So I have all these different colors of chalk pencils. There's another one because that's a dark blue. So yeah, you can. Where's the pen?
very
There it is.
cool. I did not know. I didn't even know they made chalk pencils.
Yeah. Yep. I need this piece of paper because I keep putting my. I'm gonna have charcoal all over me, but I don't want to lay my hand down in it and smudge what I'm doing. So I'll just put this paper down. That way I can go over it.
Would the chalk pastels work the same way as the chalk pencils?
Um, no, they're different. They act different. I don't. I can't explain it. They're just different.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's explanation enough, but I was just curious.
Right. I use them in my charcoals when I'm doing a charcoal and I want a color. That's what I use. Um, Rather than if I want some color, I'll use those rather than just black and white.
I love those kneadable erasers. It's so cool. They're like magic.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Because it's like the charcoal disappears.
It's like, boop, it's gone.
Yep, it's all gone. Okay, so now I'm going to start doing some more detail work. Now with the detail work, I won't use that the charcoal stick. I will use my charcoal pencils, which will give me a finer um, tip, because I've got this set of charcoal, and then I've got all these that are sitting here. Now see this it says it's a chalk. This is charcoal, and it's black, and it's the same set as these, and it says chalk on it, but it acts exactly like charcoal. It goes down, it acts just like it. That's why I keep it with these, because sometimes I want the color. In fact, these ones came with these ones. This is General's fabric chalk, pastel chalks, what they call it. And this is General's charcoal pencil. They came all together in the same set.
Robin said, is there a certain type of paper you have to use?
I just use sketch paper
I
because
think
it's
some
smooth.
paper with some kind of tooth to it. I don't think
a little bit
slick paper.
But you don't want to use like watercolors, because that is not smooth enough for my liking. It doesn't, the charcoal does not go down on it smoothly, because it's too bumpy, and then you can't get the look you want at all. So
medium toothy paper.
Well, this is really quite smooth paper, super smooth. It depends on what you want. I just use sketch pads, sketch paper, and that works for me.
A lot of your paper, if you look at it, Robin, on the cover. No, Robin, that's how you learn, is asking questions. That's
exactly.
On the cover of the paper, it'll tell you the type of medium it works for. So if you're looking for something to do charcoal, look for on the cover to see if it's good charcoal paper.
Right.
I usually use a mixed media paper.
I have mixed media, but I'm not sure if that's what this is. Let me look at this. This is a drying, heavyweight, medium texture, durable, workable surface, is what this is. But I have a lot of envelopes. So this is also a sketch diary, and it's a medium weight as well. And it's as smooth, if not smoother, than this one. And then I also have a watercolor, and I have, where did I put those others? Oh, here they are, right in front of me. This is a sketch one as well, and so is this one.
Starry Night, I like that one.
Yeah, but okay, so this one, this paper is not, it's more of a gray color, and it's got tooth to it. It says fine texture surface. It's not as smooth as these other ones. And in this one, it's a 3-color paper. So There's black, so you could do white charcoal or those colors, and then there's an off white and then a white. And these are sketch ones as well. Sketch pads. I have others too around here. I just can't reach them. They're over there on those shelves over there, and I would have to pull them out from underneath the stack, and I don't want to do that. So.
Robin says thank you.
You're welcome.
She wants
No.
to know graphite the same as charcoal.
No. Graphite is what is in your regular pencils, and charcoal is actually made from charcoal. So let me show you. So this is an artist charcoal, pure willow. It's willow from a willow tree that has been burned, and this is the charcoal from it. So when you okay, so these are graphite ones. Let me show you. These are graphite pencils. I use these in conjunction with these because graphite, you can do a lot of the same things, but it's different because graphite is in what's in your pencils, because we call them a lead pencil. There's no lead in them. It's graphite. That's why
harder than charcoal is, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Charcoal is very soft. That's how you can get it all over you so easily. I mean, I could color on my arm, my hand with the charcoal. I can't with the graphite. The graphite will not come off onto my hand. See? Hardly at all, right? But if I take a charcoal, it's going to come right on me. Because it's different. It's like, have you ever put your hand into cold charcoals from like a barbecue or a fireplace, and it's messy? That's what this is. That's what this charcoal is. Oh, why did you show up?
I have a gnat that's annoying me.
I'm sorry.
It keeps fluttering. It'd be all right, and I'd let it live if it would stay away from my face.
Right.
But it won't, so it doesn't get to live. And you can, in reality, you can color with charcoal from the grill, but I don't think you'll get as fine a texture as you will from the ones that's prepared. I think, isn't charcoal usually made from hardwoods?
Yeah, like this is from willow trees that are a lot harder than, but you can. I mean, people's been doing it for centuries. Yes, my hands will turn black using this. Especially the more I get it on. It's already turning. And my arm. Because I keep laying my arm into it.
Okay, Liz. She said be back soon.
Okay.
We'll put you. I have a vendetta now. Kill the gnat. Well, Lorelai was tickled. Amanda actually went right under her hand, and she got to touch its back.
Oh, cool.
Evidently, that was the coolest thing. Okay. They had a lovely day, they said. So I was glad.
That's good.
I'm glad that she gets to. I didn't have a chance to take my kids places like that because we didn't have the money and we were working all the time. So I get tickled when she gets to go places like that. And Robin says she hopes
Right.
everybody's been paying attention. There's a quiz at the end. You never know with Connie. She has been known to do that, Robin.
That's right. Robin, did you see that your painting went out today?
Hey, Larry, welcome in. Excuse me. Any, okay. I was frozen for a minute, y'all. And I gotta go put a coat on. Nope, I'm frozen again. Is it happening to anybody but me?
Eh, I froze. Am I back?
Can't
All
hear.
right. I think we're
Okay.
back. We
Yeah.
both kind of,
Yeah, it's like everything just froze up on me, chat and everything.
yeah.
All right, make you big again. Did I miss anything good? I said, did I
Huh?
miss anything good?
Well, I had to go out too. I mean, I was kicked
Yeah,
kind of
that's why
out, and then
I
it
didn't
brought me
actually
right
like
back.
X out. It was just like it was gone.
Right. That's what happened to one of mine, but not both.
Huh. Well, maybe.
Hey, Larry, welcome in. And this pencil or this can be sharpened, even though it's tightly wound paper. It can be sharpened. I've had some of them that had little strings that you pull to get rid of it, but I don't
I don't
have.
like those ones. They're annoying.
Yes, they are annoying. I don't have them right now. The ones I have, you just sharpen them.
I just run mine over an emery border piece of sandpaper, but I
Well,
always
that
have
works
those good
too.
ones around. Ooh, Herb's trying to make some coloring pages.
Huh?
Herb is trying to make
Oh,
some story pages.
awesome. Well, me and Annie have been coloring.
Yep.
She's been coloring more than I have been, just because I'm doing so many. Like yesterday, I built a table, a work table, and for my sewing room, and I also built an ironing board for like it's a 2 foot by 2 feet ironing board that sits on my table downstairs.
Me and Bill have been in the garden a lot.
Oh, well, I planted all my flowers. Well, all the flowers I had. I got to get some more. And we're going to get some rose bushes.
Nope, you can keep those. We
I
have
know.
a rose bush on the property. It was right next to the porch, and Bill loves roses. He dug it up and moved it all the way down to the end of the driveway where I'm not around it. And that
Right,
way
because
he
you're
gets to
allergic to
have his,
rose.
yeah. So that way he gets to have his rose bush, and I don't get to go to the hospital.
Right,
I thought that was a fair trade.
right,
Because he's like, "What you want me to do with it?" I said, "Dig it up and dump it. I don't. I just need it away from the house." It's not that I think roses are beautiful flowers, but they
right.
don't like me.
Yeah.
Give me a daisy or a tulip, and I'm fine. Daisy's my first favorite. Tulip is my second favorite.
I've got tulips. Not a lot, but I do have some tulips. I got some crocuses. I got a peony. I didn't know I had peonies, but I have a peony bush. I got a bunch of peonies um, uh, out there blooming, pink ones. And then I've just put in, and I have irises that I just transplanted today from where I had them. And Ron pulled them up a couple of days ago and he goes, "You want me to throw these away?" I said, "No." And he goes, "Well, you're not ready to plant them." I said, "I know." And he goes, "Well, what do you want me to do with them?" I said, "Here, put them in this box." He goes, "Aren't they going to die?" I'm like, "No." Irises could be thrown out on the pat on out on uh,
I'm just on top of the ground, and they'll take root.
just
Yeah.
right. Just throw them out there and they'll take your root. They're really good.
I started where we used to live because his uncle wanted to be a butt much. Was not allowed to dig up the flowers that I had planted. So
Hmm.
I waited till we was out there visiting. I went over there and I dug up some of my daffodils and some of my irises, and I threw them in the back of the car. And about 3 days later, I remembered they were in the trunk of the car and got them out and planted them. I have an entire flower bed of irises now, without a
Oh
few
yeah.
plants.
So when my daughter, when she was in kindergarten for Mother's Day, she brought home an iris, and it was in bloom for Mother's Day for me. And I didn't know where to put it. We had just moved there. Didn't None of my flower beds were ready. So I took it out back in I mean we just had dirt and weeds back there, and I planted it right underneath the spigot, the water spigot, because we didn't even have a hose out there. And every week or so, I would go out there and turn on the water and give it some water, and then that would be it. Well, I completely forgot about it. Completely forgot about it. Didn't go back out there for a couple of years.
Hi, Vicky. Welcome back, Robin.
Welcome back, Robin. Hi, Vicky. I went out there. My iris was this big. It was like 2.5 feet around.
Yeah,
And
they
it,
multiply quickly.
yeah, and
Yeah, I
so
like them.
I dug it up, separated it. By then, I had a flower bed out front, and so I put them in the flower bed.
Hey, Jim.
And
Welcome in.
hey, Jim, welcome in. Yeah, so yeah, I love irises, and my neighbor,
Oh, I
she
know.
has a bunch of irises, and she just, I was telling her I loved them, and she knows I don't have very many, and she goes, "Oh, come get some. These are multiplying." And now she's moved. They're going to be moving in the fall,
You ought
so
to
I have
ask her
to.
before she moves if you can have more of them.
Well, I haven't gotten any from her yet, so I'm going to go over probably in September. They're not moving, I think, till November, or I might even go even before. And they're just right up against my property, so I just need to probably have Ron go out over, or we can go over there together, and he can dig some out for me, and then that way I can do the. So I can have my some more irises. I want some more colors. Mine are white. Hers are purple and yellow.
I have purple ones and I have yellow and white ones, the yellow and white ones are beautiful. But my next is I want some gardenias. I want to grow some gardenias. I love the smell of gardenias.
Yeah. Well, I told Ron. I says I want to get more perennials because what I planted today is, except for the irises, they're all annuals. So he goes, "Aren't they going to come back next year?" I said, "No, they're annuals." I said, "Only perennials." I said, "I want to get more perennials so I don't have to keep buying." And he goes, "Well, what's perennials?" I said, "Ron, I said, you go to the store and you get the tubers." He goes, "What's a tuber?" I said, "This." And I showed him the bottom of the iris. I said, "This is a tuber." I said, "Your most um, flowers that have tubers are your perennials. They'll keep coming up. Not all of them have tubers." I said, "Tulips have it, daffodils, crocuses, um, irises,
Yeah.
lots of different ones. They have the tubers." And he goes, "Well, why do they have them?" I said, "That's how they stay alive, because they're down in the ground and they don't die. They go dormant in the cold
Yeah,
weather."
a lot of people, I guess, where we have more, I mean, where our winters are getting colder, I may have to change this. But where we generally have mild winters, I don't have to dig my bulbs up, and they
No,
do
I
fine.
don't ever.
I mean, I
I have
know a lot of
never,
people that do, and I was just like, I've never had to do that. And
I've never done that. I have never, not once, have I ever
Robin said
dug
her
up.
Ron's sitting there watching also, and he just asked her the same thing, what a tuber was.
Oh, yeah. I call it a tuber. It's like the root, but it's in a tube. It looks like a
Honestly, there
tube.
is a wildflower that grows here. It's called a sweet William. It's a beautiful, beautiful, just a
I love Sweet
delicate blue.
Williams.
Yes, and but you can't buy seeds for them,
I
not
have
just for
seeds.
them. So I went out in the woods and I dug me up a bunch. And his mom was like, she's like, "Do you think they'll grow?" And I said, "Do you want me to go?" And I went back out the woods and I got her some. Her flower bed is full of sweet williams, and I have like 5 or 6 plants that's lived here.
Oh,
But I dug them out there, so I think that's the difference. It's just the area.
yeah, I want some Sweet Williams. I love Sweet Williams. They are my
They're
neighbor,
they're just so delicate, and there's a it's a
and
particular blue that you don't see on any other flower.
right. I absolutely love Sweet Williams. That's what I want out my out my. I want some Sweet Williams because I love Sweet Williams.
Go find. Oh, wait, you live in Kansas. Never mind. I was going to say go find you some woods and go for a walk.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll go find some woods.
Well, I mean, if I want some woods, I just gotta walk up on the hill. There's plenty up there.
Yeah, there's no woods here. Sorry, no woods in Kansas. At least not anywhere near me.
Ron said hi. Hi, Ron.
Hello, Ron. I was gonna say my husband said hi. No, my husband's asleep. No,
The
my
beginning of the day
husband's
was
name
like,
is.
what? Did you say my name?
I was gonna say Robin. My husband's name is Ron too, and so is my son's.
Uh, that's when we first got married and we were broke. That's where most of my flowers came from. I just walked the woods and I would find some that I like and dig them up, take them home, and plant them in my flower bed. And I
Right.
have beautiful flower beds. And everybody's like, you can't domesticate wildflowers. And I said, how do you think all flowers came to be? I said, they were
Yeah.
all wild at one time.
Yeah. Ron, my Ron, he ain't gonna paint nothing. He's not even allowed to paint walls. I don't let him.
Bill's a terrible painter. And I love
So
him
is
to
Ron.
death. And he can do most things around the house. But he
Ron can't.
really
My
hates
Ron can't.
painting and he is not very good at it.
Okay, so Ron and I used to live in Kentucky. We bought this house, and we only lived there 2.5 years. But the paint was not that great. The painting in the house was not that great. Wasn't a very good job. And so when we were ready to move back to Utah, um, when my job was transferring me back, um, he said he would look like a blob. Exactly. Um, we were going to paint. We had bought paint for the whole inside of the house, every room. And I was doing all the painting. And this one day, Ron goes, "Well, why?" Because he was retired already. Um, he goes, "While you're at work, what do you want me to paint?" And I just looked at him. I said, "Nothing." And he goes, "No, I'll help you." I said, "What can I paint?" I said, "Okay, can you paint the baseboards in the living room? And I don't want you getting no paint on the carpet." And he goes, "Well, how am I going to avoid that?" And I showed him what to use. He didn't get any paint. No paint got on
But it's
the
all over the
carpet at
wall.
all. It was all over the freaking wall.
Yeah.
Yes, it was everywhere. And I came home and I looked at it. I said, "Did you really have to get it all over the wall?" And he goes, "Well, I tried not to." I'm like, "Oh yeah,
Oh,
you're not
she
paint."
said no, she meant Ron Rhodes, her husband. Said it would look like a
Yeah,
wall.
yeah, I figured that's what she was saying. My husband would too. My Ron would, and my okay. I got a story that some of you guys have heard about my son Ron. Okay, when he was a teenager, he wanted to paint his room, and I said, "Okay, um, we can pick out the paint," and so we did. And this one day, I was super busy, and he's like, "Well, I want to go paint my room." I said, "Ronnie, we call him Ronnie, my son." I said, "Ronnie, I really don't want, I'm busy right now. I really don't want you to do it until I can go down there and help you." He goes, "Mom, I know how to paint. I can paint the room. I've watched you paint," which is true. He had watched me paint lots. I said, "Okay." So he goes downstairs and I'm upstairs and I'm painting. He's painting downstairs. He comes running up the stairs about a half hour later, screaming. I'm like, "Oh no, oh no, what is going on?" He goes, "That paint is rotten." I said, paint don't is no, what are you talking about?" I said, "Paint don't rot." He goes, "Well, it's not working." I said, "Oh crap." I
You need
said,
to say it.
what is going on?" He goes, "You have got to come look at this crappy, horrible paint." I'm like, Okay. I go down there. He had painted a whole gallon of paint on a 13-foot wall. One wall. The whole gallon. It was sloughing off of the wall, down the wall. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's going to be everywhere. He goes, it's rotten. I said, Ronnie, you put way too much paint on here. And I'm like, I don't even know how you got that much paint even on there, let alone um it didn't just pour off the wall. So he's like, well, I need more. I said, no, no, you do not need more. And he goes, well, what are you going to do? And I said, I'm going to use this paint really fast and get it on the rest of the walls. So I started rolling on it and rolling on the other walls. It took me maybe less than a half an hour, and I had the whole room done because I was able to just roll it and put it on the other walls. And I said, you're never painting another wall in my house. He's like, that's not fair, Mom. I said, you're not painting another wall in my house ever unless you are willing to learn how to do it. And I'm like, oh. And it was green. And he ended up getting, I started looking closer. He got it on the carpet. So when we was getting ready to move, he had already moved out, and I repainted that room, and I put new carpet down and laid new carpet. And he came over when I was painting, and he goes, Mom, did you tape off? I said, I don't tape off. He goes, well, how do you not get it on everything? I said, I cut in. He goes, well, what's cutting in? I said, you know what, Ronnie? If you really want to know, I'll teach you. But if you're just asking just to ask, I'm not telling you. Because I never get paint on anything other than what I want the paint on. Because I learned a long time ago how to cut in. See, when I was a kid, we painted the inside of our house every year, once a year. Because my mom liked change. So every year we got to change our bedroom wall colors. So I'd have pink, and then I'd have never had yellow. Can't stand yellow walls. My mother always had different shades of yellow in the kitchen. But I would have pink and different colors of pinks and purples and blues. The one time when I wanted a blue, the first time I ever asked for a blue color, my mom said, girls, don't you have blue walls? I said, yes, they do, and I'm going to. I said, what do you mean girls don't have blue walls? I said, I can have a blue wall if I want a blue wall. And she goes, well, I don't think your sister wants a blue wall. I said, my sister doesn't have a say-so in it. And she goes, it's her wall anyway. I said, my sister doesn't have a say-so in it. And she looked over at my sister and she goes, I don't have a say-so in it, Mom. Connie gets to decide on those things, not me. So, but Patty loved blue. So she would have wanted it if I had given her the choice. But I was kind of headstrong. You guys would never know that about me. I'm extremely headstrong. Yeah. And yeah, so we had different colors. We painted the outside of the house too. And we painted the white picket fence that was actually wood. About every other year.
We lived out on the farm, and we were remodeling his grandma's house that we were living in. Well, it was one of her houses. They lived there until she passed away, and she raised her kids there. But I decided I wanted the house blue. His mom had a conniption. And I was just like at him, and I was like, he said, have you been out this, and we call it a creek because it's a creek, it follows a creek. It used to be, the creek bed used to be the road back in the day. And I was like, what? And when I went to work work that day, I paid really close attention to the houses on the creek as I was going out. And I come back and I was like, so? And he's like, did you notice? And I said, yeah. He said, why would you want a blue house? And I said, do you know how easy directions would be? Go out Climbers Creek till you see the blue house and you're there. We had the only blue house on the road we lived on. There were no other blue houses.
Right.
And I kept teasing him. I was like, someday I'm going to own a house and I'm going to have a purple front door. And he said, why? And I said, because it'll be mine. And if I want it purple, I can have it purple. We bought this
My
house. The first thing I did was paint my front door purple.
my front door is red and I hate it. And I want to paint it white because I put wreaths on the door, and they don't stand out enough with the red behind it, but they always do with white. And my door doesn't get any sun on it, but maybe an hour or two part of the year. So it just doesn't really get a lot of, because it's got a cover over it. But the red makes it where you cannot see the my different wreaths. In fact, I gotta change my wreath. I gotta go downstairs and find my springy one, because the one or my I could use my 4th of July one or my Independence Day one. I have a bunch of them in here, but more of them are downstairs.
Yeah. The company that makes Anthony's popsicles, his red, white, and blue popsicles,
Mhm.
they have always had just a white plastic package. They made them red, white, and blue. Guess what Anthony won't eat now? And these are the
What?
only popsicles he's ever eaten in his whole life, the only kind. He won't touch them because the packaging's different. Even
Yeah.
after we opened it and showed him, it was the same one.
Yeah. Yeah, Robin, I don't like it being red either.
I've
I just
never had
haven't
it
done it yet.
before.
Just have to do it. I just haven't done it. The On the inside it's white, but on the outside it's red, and I need to go ahead and get it changed. I just haven't done it.
Well, Bill was talking about doing new siding on the house, maybe not this year, but next year. And
We've got new siding on our house.
and I told him I was totally cool with blue. I can go because right now it's beige and dark brown, and it's kind of blah.
Ours is beige, but ours is the only one that's beige. Well, it's a beige color, but ours is the only one in our vicinity that is this color.
Well,
So
it will be again the only blue house in the area because everybody else's houses are white.
right, we have the house over there is brown. The house there is yellow. No, white. I think it's white. The one behind us is yellow. The one across the street is white, and another one is yellow, and another one is blue. Ours is the only one that's tan right here close by. So, oh, and the one across kitty corner across the street is blue. So, the one thing about my house with the door being red is I tell people where I live. I tell them, I'm on the corner of Kansas and Ninth, the one with the red door, because it's the only one that has a red door. But that's gonna change.
Now, my grandma, she would not, she did not believe that any room in a house or the house itself should be painted pink because it's bad luck. When I was in school, one of the guys, we would drop him off at his grandma's house, I guess because his parents worked. His
Huh?
grandma's house was Pepto Bismol pink, the entire
That's
house.
gross.
The,
That's
the
gross.
house, the trim, the doors around, I mean, everything, just Pepto Bismol pink. And I looked at my little brother. I said, now that's a pink house.
Right.
But yeah, I couldn't imagine. I mean, maybe as an accent color, but not I mean, pink is okay. It's not my favorite color, but that's just too much pink.
I've seen pink houses. I don't like pink cars, purple cars.
Oh, I love purple cars.
I love purple, but I can't stand it in a car. Ugh. No, 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 no.
I had a purple car once.
I wouldn't even get in a purple car.
I was taking Bill to work, and as we left the house, I looked at him and I said, "This car's not gonna make it home." And he was just like, "Oh yeah, hey Greg, welcome in." Uh,
Hello, Greg. Welcome in.
he said, "Just put that out there in the universe." And I said, "Honey, I drive this car every single day, 7 days a week. I'm telling you, this car's not gonna make it home." It didn't even make it to the driveway of where he worked, and the engine
Wow.
blew up in it. And we had, and I was, he said, "He goes, this is your fault." I said, "No, it's not. I told you something's wrong with the car."
Right.
It was like, listen to me. He still hasn't learned to listen to me when it comes to the car. He always knows better, and I always turn out to be right. And then he gets mad, and I'm like, if you just listen to me, I said, when you drive a car every single day, you know that car.
Right.
Very cool leaf. That I like that. I loved my purple car. Well, it was actually it was kind of weird. If you, it depended on the way the light hit it, because if the light hit it one way, it was blue, but if it hit it another way, it was purple.
Now I just not a purple car person. I don't like orange cars.
I don't want a yellow car and I don't want a white car.
I would take a yellow car, but not an orange, not a purple, not a pink. I don't even really particularly care for green cars.
No, I don't like green cars. I don't like green on
I
anything but
used to
black.
have a green car. My first car was a green car, but I didn't get to choose that color. That was just the car that was available to me because I was buying it from my brother, and I had no choice. But we have a silver car now. We've had gunmetal silver. We've had red. We've had maroon. Um, we've had gold. We've never had a white vehicle because I won't have a white vehicle. Don't like white vehicles.
I around here, it would be a never-ending battle to own a white vehicle. It would never be clean, not ever.
Oh,
Except for
same
when you
here.
drove out of the car wash. About 5 minutes later, it looked like you had washed your car again. There's just too much dust in this area. They're
Oh,
pretty. I
same
just
here.
don't know one.
Yeah, we have a lot of dust.
It's well, I
I
mean,
live
it's
in the
got the black
plains.
one now, and it's as bad with the black as it is with the white. It's just as
Yeah,
hard to keep the car looking clean.
that's why I like my silver car. I live in the plains. I mean, it's not people when they say they live in Kentucky plains or the plains. We're not joking. It's flat and the wind blows. And yeah.
Yeah, the first time I drove to Louisville to see my best friend, and she goes, "Now be careful. There's some mountains you got to go over." And I was like, "In Kentucky?" And she said, "Yeah." And I got all the way to her house, and I parked my car, and I got out, and I was leaning against the door. And she goes, "Well," and I was like, "I'm still waiting to figure out where the mountains was. I didn't see any mountains." I said, "Come to West Virginia if you want to see mountains."
Yeah, Greg, I mean, for me, it's just white just doesn't stay white.
It's not practical in some areas.
Yeah, and the silver, so for some reason, hides how dirty it is. Um, we did have a green car, and we didn't have a choice on that one either. But I was glad to get rid of it when we finally
Hey,
did.
Mary.
Hello, Mary. Oh, awesome, Mary.
Yeah, same, Robin. This is the dustiest house. And my sister comes in. She goes, "Oh, you didn't dust this morning?" I said, "I dusted about a half an hour ago."
Yeah.
She said, I'm not used to this." And I was like, "Yep, I know," because she's fine because she just lives up the road from me now. She found out just how dusty it is in this area. It's impossible to keep your house dust free.
Yeah, same here.
That's one of the reasons we got rid of the carpets. Well, not the main reason we got rid of the carpets. I hate carpet. I'd much rather
We
have
only have
wood.
carpet in the bedrooms.
Nope. I don't want carpet at all. It's just with animals
Greg.
and the dust. Oh, Greg, I'm telling you, I shit you not.
Did
Oh,
you?
hardly. I kid you not. You can go through the car wash, and by the time, because of the closest car wash is in over in the town where my son lives. So when I drop the baby off on Sundays, I'll run through the car wash. By the time I make it home, my car's already dirty.
I was gonna say my car wouldn't make it home. Um,
It's ridiculous.
yeah.
I know a lot of it is because the trains come through here and they're mostly coal trains, and pieces of coal fall off, and then it gets, and when the trains are running, there's coal dust in the air.
Mhm.
Yeah, but car washes around here, they make a killing.
We only have one car wash in my town, and it's one you have to get out and do yourself, and it's never busy. And there's the town that's 20 minutes from us, the next biggest, the biggest town that's next to us. They have, I think, two car washes, and um, we've never went to them because by the time we get home, our car's dirty already.
I used to wash my car at home until
Ron
the
does.
water bill got so the price of the water, it is actually cheaper to go to a car wash. And but we have the one I go to, you drive through.
Um, Ron, we don't even take our car to the car wash. Ron will do it at home, but he only does it very seldom because it just gets dirty again so
But I
fast.
love the vacuums at the car wash. They have super good vacuums.
Well, I have a shop vac
I have shop vac too, but
and I
no,
have a rainbow.
no, Greg. Well, I mean, you know what? I don't know. There
What?
could be volcano unders. There's a lot of caves under West Virginia. Most of West Virginia isn't sitting on top of an entire cave system. I live in fear of those sinkholes all the time. And we've had a couple of them open up, but they're in Huntington. One opened up in Huntington, I think, a couple of years ago. Not like huge, like you're seeing in Florida and everything, but it was freaking people out. And I was just like, they've been mining this state for hundreds of years. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me a bit.
Right.
That's why they tease Greg that if you want to kill somebody, come to West Virginia. They'll never find the body.
That's the way it is in Utah too, because
Drop it
there's
down
so
mine
many.
shaft.
There's mines and there's all kinds of mines all over the West Desert from Salt Lake, and there's been a lot of people that went missing. They never found their bodies.
Yeah, same here. We have several unsolved cases, and I'm like, they start looking through these mines, but you can't because some of these old mine shafts are thousands of feet deep.
Well,
Ain't
yeah,
nobody
and
gonna be
they're
there looking for that.
tiny, and you can't get down them.
Yeah, where we live
And
now, about 4 miles up on the mountain, is an old mine shaft, and it
yeah,
has at least a couple of times it flooded down this way.
there was several years ago a guy who had killed his wife. It was all over the news. It was national news. He had killed his wife, but they never could find her body. They had two little boys, and he moved to Oregon with them, and they finally was able to get the boys away from him, and he had a visitation with them, but it was supposed to be with
Supervision.
supervision, and he thank you, Robin, and he said, can you bring him to my house? and have the visitation there. And so she cleared it, and they said yes. And she showed up with the boys at the house, and he opened up the door. He, the boys came in, and he shoved her back out the door.
I remember this case.
He locked the door, and within seconds, the house blew up. He killed himself and the boys. And they found that the oldest boy was trying to fight him to go with him to where he wanted him in the house, and he used an axe and hit the child on the head with the axe to kill him, to stop him from screaming and running to the door. It was horrible. I'm trying to think of what this guy's name was. I can't remember. They lived around the block from my cousin. Can't think of what their names were. It was horrible.
I remember watching that.
And then we had another guy who chopped his wife up and put her out in the landfill. Took them a while to find all her body parts, but they finally did.
Josh Powell.
Yes, that's it, Josh Powell.
I was trying to think.
I actually had seen him before in the grocery store because my cousin who lived in his neighborhood, their neighborhood was next to our neighborhood. And so we would, in fact, it was right, maybe a mile from our house is where they lived. It was horrible. Those little boys didn't have a chance.
No. And what a selfish person. Kill yourself. Leave the kids alone.
Right. Okay, I got a question to ask you guys. My time's pretty much up. I was going to go darker on the background, but I think I like it lighter rather than darker.
I like it like that.
I mean, there's still some shading like I could do, but I like this. But I'm not done. I got a couple more things I need to do. On here.
Robin said she likes it lighter too.
Yeah.
Larry says, leave it. It's beautiful.
Thank you. I'm just outlining the petals so that they're not blending into the background. Of course, I'm putting my hand right into the chalk. Or not the chalk, the charcoal.
Those leaves look perfect.
Thank you.
Leaves I am not good at.
Took me a long time to learn leaves.
Vicky said the flower pops more with the lighter background.
I agree. Thank you, guys. Let me sign this.
Do you ever forget how to sign with a pencil or a pen when you sign with paint so often?
No, only because I don't normally print. When I sign my name, I don't usually print. So, I mean, I can show you how my actual signature is, and it's not, I don't print. So if I'm going to sign my name, I usually sign it like this. Oh, you guys can see that. That's my actual signature when I do C Dunyan. It doesn't look anything like my printed. And if it's Connie, it's just like that. So it doesn't look anything like it. But that's my signature because I drew it. I found that out when I had to have hand surgery. Um, when I had to have carpal tunnel surgery, I had it done on my right hand, and then I had it done on my left hand. And I had to go to the bank and I had to sign something. And I told the lady, I said, I don't know how I'm going to be able to sign because I can't use this hand. It was all bandaged up, and they told me not to try and use it. And she goes, oh, do it with your left hand. I said, I'm right handed. I can't write with my left hand. And she said, you do whatever you do the best you can do because it's your hand, it's your writing, so it's your handwriting. And I'm like, oh, okay. So that was before I learned how to do stuff with my left hand. That kind of started me thinking that I needed to because I do my own nails. Okay, so I do my nails other than they've got charcoal on them. They look exactly the same. And I do this hand with my right hand, I do this hand with my left hand. And awesome, Mary. And I can paint with both hands. I used to paint my nails, and I can paint with my left hand as well as my right. I still can't write very well. I can try and write. Let me see if I can remember how to write. Where'd I put that paper? I don't know if I can actual write, because I haven't done that. I can paint, but I haven't actually tried to write. In fact, this feels weird. Yeah, this is not good. Yeah, that's not good at all. Still my handwriting, but it's not good. Oh well. I haven't practiced handwriting with my left hand, but I can paint with my left hand. You have seen me paint. A lot of Liz has, Sandra has, on my nails when I've painted them. And I have pictures of those on Facebook. I have pictures of some of my nails that I've painted. I have some on YouTube as well. And I have some on Instagram. But there's that. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you, Annie, for being on panel. Maybe I'll do this more often, charcoal drawing, doing some other things other than just flowers and people and eyes. I love doing eyes. I love drawing eyes. That's why, wherever the heck that eye is, I have a whole book of eyes where I drew drawn eyes. Yeah, that eye right there is the only one I have in this book. But I love to draw eyes. And to seal these, I use hairspray, not the wet kind. It has to be an aerosol, and it will seal it, so it
And
won't
just
rub off.
don't spend a lot of money on it.
Huh?
I told not to spend a lot of money on the hairspray.
No, I use Aquanet. That's cheap. So.
Yeah. Oh, the smell of Aquanet. Oh, Greg went out for an anniversary supper tonight. That's right.
Awesome. Happy anniversary to you and your wife. Oh, you're welcome, Robin. Yes, and I will be back on Thursday on my other channel. What am I painting this week? I don't know what I'm painting actually. I will be painting
37 years, Connie.
Awesome. Congrats to you guys. But Thursday, I don't know what I'm painting yet. I don't have anything commissioned right now. All my commissioned pieces have gone out. I did another bag. Finished it yesterday. That's for sale. Yesterday, the day before, it's for sale. Got some more I'm going to start this week. Yeah, I'll figure out what I'm going to be painting for Thursday. I don't know yet. A lot of times I don't know until a couple hours before. And sometimes I still don't know, and I do a thumbnail, and then I have to decide what I'm going to do. But you could ask Annie. Sometimes I don't know what I'm doing. Don't know what I'm doing until I start. So.
It's going to be these colors.
Maybe. I don't even know what colors it's going to be until I've done it, and I keep all the bottles, and then I'll do the thumbnail for it to write them all out. So, but good night, guys. Let me switch this over.
Oh, Greg says it's the wife that deserves the congrats.
Oh, okay. Well, tell her congratulations.
See, and Bill deserves all the congrats for putting up with me.
For us, it's both of us. Me putting up with him and him putting up with me.
Oh, he puts up with way more than I
do. You know what? Ron asks me sometimes, he goes, why are you this way now? I said, because you were the first half of our marriage. And he looks at me and he goes, that's not fair. I said, it is what it is. Good luck.
Night, y'all.
But good night, guys. Thank you for coming. We'll see you hopefully on Thursday. Bye.
Bye.